What I'm saying is like when we are born, we have a baseline level of our experience of the world is rooted in evil. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying like that's what it is. Like that's our only experience. Like I think good and bad is a lot different than good and evil. Like evil is God would do this, we do this. Good and bad is like the subjective thing you're talking about, where like subjectively, like going to church you could say is good. Subjectively, you could say going to church is bad. I'm not talking about the subjective plane of things. That's good and bad to me. Good and evil is like God would never do that. And because we do that, we're evil.
Wait. God would never do that?
God would never lie. For example.
Why?
He's God.
So then why did he create people who would lie?
Because he wanted people to have free will. Because without free will, you can't experience love.
So God would never lie, but God creates people who have free will to lie.
Yes.
So God allows those people to lie.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like that thought process. Because in my opinion,
would you want your girlfriend to have the free will to break up with you if she doesn't like you anymore because you love her? Like love has to come with free will.
Of course. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the statement that God would never do this. I think you're probably better off framing it more just like in an ideal state, Jesus would never say this is okay, but I don't fundamentally think that the term God would never do X
So is that how you're like trying to determine what's evil? Is if God would never do it, it's evil?
Yeah.
God isn't supremely good, then we have no baseline of like good and evil.
Well, is God supremely good or is God supremely everything?
What is that?
Because he does kill people.
Right, like everything comes from God. So
you got to think of it like as creation, like God choosing like, all right, I want my creation to come back to me is not the same as like me choosing to end someone's life. Like comparing our ability to enact on someone else's creation versus the creator acting on his creation are two different things. And to compare ourselves to God is prideful, which in turn is like, you start to see like how we're flawed in our ability to perceive God because we're reducing the creator of everything to like, well, if you do something I do. Well, no, like I created an application. My application is like not the same as me. Like it has.
But it comes from you.
Right.
Just like you come from your dad. So in order for you to say that there's no realm where you can draw a comparison to God is also a little like one-sided because you come from God. So if you believe you come from God, then you are a part of God and you can draw comparisons to God, not in the sense of I am God, but more in the sense of.
So I think you need to look at God top down, not down up, right? Our ability to do good is because God is good. Our ability to do evil isn't because God is evil, it's because we are not God.
I think to bring it back to the soul stuff.
Yeah, you're losing me here.
I think we're born inherently neutral.
Yes, that's what I would agree with. Yeah.
And we're influenced heavily based off what is going on.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's the need to tell kids like, don't snatch the toy out of, Joe's hand.
Why would a neutral kid snatch a toy?
So there's the need to do that, but then there's also the kids that don't need that extra redirection in a classroom.
Yeah.
Like from my experience I only substituted like 2 or 3 times. But from that experience, yes, there was the kids who like I needed to redirect like every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes. So, hey, we're supposed to be doing this worksheet, that's not your pencil, put it back. But then there was also the kids who were like,
fine,
no need of any redirection.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, so then how do we explain that?
Yeah.
So are we just going to take away parenting? Like,
no, I'm saying that's how I got to the point of being neutral.
Yeah.
Because,
like,
I mean, because there's.
I would argue your experiences with people who have been parented to a certain level before you even experience them.
Well,
right, but there's also kids who have like good parenting, but then still choose to snatch the pencil out of their hand,
Right.
Which is like the inherently sin part. But then there's the kids who have butt cheek parents and are awesome
and still
so
develop and turn out to be good people.
Yeah, like you have a kid who's
I mean,
you know,
I think-
in a foster home because their parents did this and this, and then their foster family is even abusive, and they're still like straight A students, not into substances, not doing nothing, staying off the street, doing all that. It's just kind of like, well, how did that happen?
I think that's different than good. I think good is more. And then we have to define what good and evil.
Yeah, because when you say
good
good,
is
it's
not-
subjective.
Good to me is when I'm talking about like what would God do versus what would we do. Like the idea of like having straight A's or like making a whole lot of money, like that's not the good I'm talking about. I'm talking about like your heart, like how you love people, how you care about people, like being selfless, like putting others before yourself. Like that's what.
Dude, but you're speaking from a perspective of somebody who is an adult. Like,
Right.
you're holding someone to a standard you can't even hold them to because they're not even at that point where they can even conceptualize half of the stuff you're saying.
That's my point. That's why we're born sinners.
Why sinners? Because they can't conceptualize the other half of it either. They
So
can't
all because
conceptualize
all
it.
because you can't conceptualize something doesn't mean you're that thing.
Sure, but you're
I'm asking
saying
this question.
so. You're
So
saying
can't conceptualize something. Are they still that thing?
to them or to you?
Let's just be as objective as possible.
If I can't conceptualize what a man is, I probably couldn't be a man to myself. But you could say, "Oh, he is a man," or "He isn't a man."
I think objectively, even if you can't conceptualize what you are still a man.
To who?
Like, that's what objectivity is. It's not to who. It's like if you remove everything, it's just like, what is this thing on its own? There has to be some level of objectivity.
No, if I can't conceptualize what a good person is, then I don't know how I can be a good person. But that doesn't mean that he can't say I'm a good person. He could say, "Oh yeah, Mike's a good person," but I could think I'm
Right.
not a good person. So I can like if I don't even know what it is, I can't even consider myself that. But he can.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be some objective form. Like let's like not do good here for a second. Like objectively, there is a sky, right?
Okay.
If you are blind from birth and cannot see, not you, if someone's blind from birth and can't see the sky, objectively, whether I can see it because I have eyes or a blind person can't see it, there's a sky.
100%.
That same thing is true with good. And all because people don't know God doesn't mean that there's no such thing.
But good is not objective.
Good is, if you have no God, good
Uh-huh.
is completely subjective.
Good is still subjective if you have a God.
How? You like that? I don't understand that.
Because
Oh, are you
how
talking
many
about the
people?
whole like steal to feed your family type of thing?
Not even that. Just how many people died in the Crusades? How many people died in the name of Jesus? How
So
many
all
people
because-
died in the name of Allah?
All
Like,
because people do bad things in the name of something good doesn't make the thing good. People can corrupt a good thing.
sure, but you are also part of that people. Everyone in here is part of those people.
100%. I'm a sinner too.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're a sinner, but what I'm saying is,
I am a sinner.
no, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, okay, cool. Confessional.
Saved by grace.
Okay, but what I'm saying is just like you can't. It's very hard to. If in my opinion, with or without God, you are still like there's still that.
If there was
compass.
no God, there would be no people. So there
Well,
would be no point to like.
It also is like so weird how like God's gonna tell us that we're born sinners, but then we have free will.
Why is that weird?
Because it's like he's saying, I love you guys, so I'm giving you the ability to choose, choice, free will. This is the biggest blessing ever. But then I'm also gonna put you on I'm gonna say there's a label.
What do you mean?
And that you're born this and you can't change that and you can't choose that and you can't use free will to counter that.